Hello reefers, this is Ash coming back at you again. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video we are going to talk about the auto top off float switch which we use along with our auto top off. Now we all know how important it is for this float switch to work perfectly to be able to run our systems, because if the float switch gets stuck at the bottom, the reason may be salt creep on the inner plastic lever or the snail, and that will probably make your pump in the auto top off to dump tons of RODI water or caulk washer back in your sump or aquarium. This will crash your aquarium, or it definitely will create issues for your tank. Now we need to make sure that we build redundancy around this float switch just in case if something goes wrong. So there are various ways that you could build that redundancy. The first thing that you could do is monthly or bi-weekly maintenance of this float switch, wherein you will have to dismantle the whole float switch, clean the inner wall, let it soak maybe half an hour to 1 hour or overnight if that's possible in RODI water mixed with the white vinegar, and then you can just clean the inner wall. I'll show it to you shortly how I did mine. The second redundancy that you could build is manage to have a second float switch an inch or half an inch above the first one. So this way, even if the first one is stuck, the second one will act as a backup. And the third redundancy that you could do is have a limited amount of water into your auto top off, enough that even if the first two switches get stuck and your pump dumps almost all the water from your RODI, your tank will still be running without any issues. So for example, if you're running 150 gallon, you could run, depends upon your water volume, have your reservoir with a limited amount of water. So even if it gets dumped everything into your sump or your aquarium, it won't crash your system. So that's the third redundancy. The fourth redundancy that you could do is use a controller to control your auto top off. For example, in my case, I use Apex to control my auto top off in such a way that my auto top off will run 5 to 10 minutes every hour. So it runs, say for example, 10 minutes, the first 10 minutes of an hour, and it will be off for the remaining 50 minutes of that hour. So I run my JBJ auto top off in such a way. And the second program that I have in my Apex is if my pH goes beyond certain limits. So in my case 8.02 to 8.03, I will have my pump in my ATO switched off because I dose caulk washer. So this will avoid the spike of pH in my aquarium as well. So these are the steps that you can take. There might be more that I'm not aware of. You guys can always chime in the comments below. So this is what I have learned, and I want to share my experiences with you guys and hope that it will help our community of reefing. So let me show you how I clean my float switch. The first thing you do is you turn off your auto top off, remove your float switch, and I have made this solution of RODI with white vinegar 75% to 25%, and soak the float switch inside this solution for, I would say, a good half an hour to 1 hour. Then you disassemble the float switch and remove this lever from the float switch. This is where the salt creep grows, and it will stop the float to go up and down and move freely. So then once you have removed the lever, you need to scrape off the salt creep from this lever. You can use either a scissor or a flathead screwdriver, and just make sure that you don't damage this lever. So once it's clean, just inspect it all around, dip it into the solution again, put your float switch back on. So what this does is it will allow the float to move freely when the lever is clean, and thereby eliminating any issue with your auto top off. Thanks for stopping by, guys. I hope this video has been useful. Please do not forget to hit the subscribe button. Thanks again.
I keep it on lock like I'm part of the jail. I'm slaughtering stale competition. I got the whole block wishing they could run with my division, but they gone fishing with no bait. Kid your boy whole weight.